YouTube, Michael Kazmierski Dunn here, continuing with episode 20 of the Blind Piper Reacts series, episode 20.2, I would assume, or 20.5, it depends on how many singers I'd like to cover. So I'd like to cover one of the hottest pop singing voices I've ever heard in the world, and her name is Madilyn Bailey. She is, a lot of you might know her. She is from Wisconsin, and she was born about 1992. And she, according to my friend Jackie, who really loves Madilyn Bailey, Madilyn's been uploading some, all these really interesting songs since she was in high school, which I've never gone that far. But I didn't discover Madilyn Bailey until basically the day before New Year's of 2020. And when I heard her voice, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is basically... hopefully you guys heard Denise Lee's singing voice, right? Assuming you haven't, that's okay. But assuming you have heard Denise, when I heard Madilyn Bailey, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is basically like the Denise Lee of pop. And so what I'll do is I'm going to react to two Madilyn songs. I'm going to react to the very first song by Madilyn I've ever heard. And then I'm going to react to a song that has this vocal effect featured throughout the song that makes her voice hotter. And I'll get to that when we get to the actual song. So this first song I'm going to react to is the very first song by Madilyn Bailey I've ever heard, and it's called Drunk on a Feeling. So here we go. So that's her on the piano. Listen to how fast her vibrato is.
This is me, just checking in. We've come so far from where we began.
She not only has that really amazing hot vibrato, but she also has a big volume variation in her vibrato. It's amazing.
I haven't seen the stars in
Ooh.
years, and the seasons never change, so it's unclear how long I've been here.
Do you see how amazing her vibrato is?
Just checking in.
I told you she is the Denise Lee of pop.
Am I still breathing? I haven't slept a night in years.
I wish every female pop singer had that vibrato. Because I'm telling you, a vibrato like that is very, very, very rare and sadly rare. Ooh. From a classical point of view, it really sounds like she's struggling on those high notes. Especially on that F5 there. Even though she's still got a really hot vibrato on those notes. She really likes multi-tracking herself, making a lot of harmony tracks alongside the melody.
Remembering all the things I said I'd be. Oh, how nice.
It's a slight vibrato, but it's absolutely hot.
I said this city'd never change me. Does that make me lie?
Oh my gosh.
Am I drunk on a feeling?
If Madilyn were in a pop singing vocal pageant, she would definitely win. According to another friend of mine who my friend Michelle, Madilyn apparently is blonde. Oh my gosh, her vibrato is so hot, I have trouble, I don't want to drown it out. But she's about like 4 foot or 5 foot, I can't remember her height, but she's pretty small. And she is blonde. And I don't know what else about her look-wise makes her look so hot, but people tell me that she looks the hot, really hot. And she happens to have a really hot singing voice too with that. So.
That we'll never know. We can meet in the middle.
And I love Madilyn so much that I'm subscribed to her, and I even told Haley, the coolest girl in the world who actually changed her channel name, about Madilyn. And even Haley is subscribed to Madilyn as well. Or at least I think she is. See, there goes all her multi-tracking she likes doing. She actually has a little bit of that effect that she's going to demonstrate to a great deal of effect in her next song that I'm going to react to. But I'd rather leave that, explaining that to until we get to the actual next song. Oh, is it over? Okay, that's okay. Alright, so that was called Drunk on a Feeling. And the next song I'm going to react to it's called Shine Your Diamond Heart. She uploaded this this past summer, so summer of 2021. And there's a really interesting effect that I first heard with Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson loves to use this vocal effect. And I think Madilyn adopted it. Quite a lot of pop singers have adopted it. And there are basically two different versions of this Kelly Clarkson effect. But essentially what it is you have one voice, which is the lead, in the center, singing the stuff in one octave, right? And then you have one way is an octave lower and one way is an octave higher. But you have more than one background voice, or maybe just one, that are an octave higher or an octave lower compared to the lead. So they're singing in two different octaves. And Madilyn does both versions of this really hot Kelly Clarkson effect in this next song, which is called Shine Your Diamond Heart. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it play, and then when a prominent Kelly Clarkson effect comes up, I'm going to block out the middle channel of the file where the lead vocal track is, so that you will just hear what's surrounding it, so what the left and right channels do not have in common. And that should be able to demonstrate the Kelly Clarkson effect both ways. Both the lower octave under the lead and the higher octave under the lead. And of course, both of those different octaves would have vibrato along with the lead too. That's what makes it what I describe as the Kelly Clarkson effect, because the first time I've ever heard it was with Kelly Clarkson, who did that a ton. And a lot of pop singers are starting to do that now. Madilyn Bailey for one, and Abby Celso, I don't know, Celso. She was a contestant on The Voice back in 2016, and I think Abby Celso does that. I think it's Celso. I've heard people say Celso, so if Abby ever happens to be watching this, she can correct me, but I think she's done that Kelly Clarkson effect, but I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it's someone similar who did it, I don't know. But anyway, let's get on with it. It's called Shine Your Diamond Heart. This hard drive has to wake up. I'm going to reduce the bass a little bit, because when there's heavy bass, these laptop speakers tend to drop in volume. So this is what Madilyn Bailey's, again, whenever the Kelly Clarkson effect comes up, because it's very, very difficult to hear normally, I'm going to just strip that part out and show you what the middle channel, what the lead sounds like, and then strip out the lead so you can hear what's on the side channel. So this is one of her songs that she does called Shine Your Diamond Heart. some noise in the beginning. I skipped the noise.
Give me something classic, something that'll last forever, more durable than plastic,
Ooh.
and stronger than leather. I don't mean magic, I need something better.
Ooh, every note has a hot vibrato.
Blood and sweat and tears, and years and years and years of pressure. I took all the sticks and stones, all the blows and bricks they throw, everything that ever gave me scars.
Ooh.
All the hurt, bridges burned, every word a lesson learned, and turned it into art.
So I'm gonna stop there for a moment. So you notice how you could barely hear the harmonies in the background, right? They're about a third above her. I'm gonna back it up. So this is the part I'm talking about. So here's the original version.
All the hurt, bridges burned, every word a lesson learned, and turned it into art. All the hurt, bridges.
I was just making sure that only that part was selected. So here's what it sounds like when the middle channel is cut out. So you don't really have this Kelly Clarkson effect just yet. Oops. There we go. That's the first time we had the Kelly Clarkson effect. Here's the original again. Here's what it is on the side when the lead is blocked out. You notice that there are multi-tracks an whole octave above the lead voice, right? Kelly Clarkson liked to do that a ton, and especially on her low notes when the lead is singing low notes. And so that's one version of the Kelly Clarkson effect. So this next verse at the very end has the Kelly Clarkson effect again.
Even in a night sky.
And you might just be able to hear the lead, but there are unison multi-tracks under the lead. I'll show you in just a minute.
Even in a night sky, stars keep glowing. Even under concrete.
Ooh, that's a hot vibrato on that. Like,
they said I'd never make it, but I keep going.
I just stopped there because that's before the Kelly Clarkson effect begins. So you notice how that lead was very prominent, right? Well, here's what it is on the side channel, which like the side, either side of the lead with the lead cut out. So you hear some extra, they're singing unison with her. And that's just not her put through the chorus effect. Those are other tracks of her. But they're at such a low volume that it's very hard to hear unless you're wearing headphones. So here we go. This is where the other Kelly Clarkson effect comes in.
Oh, 'cause life is more than just survival. Every step is my revival.
So you could tell the lead was very prominent there, right? And you could tell she was singing mostly in the fourth octave. Well, on the side channel, in addition to the harmonies a third above her, you will hear some voices a whole octave below the lead. Especially here. That's basically the other version of the Kelly Clarkson effect. You notice that there are, hopefully you heard when she said every step is my revival, especially on the word step with that hot, sexy vibrato. On the word step, you could definitely hear a third octave A in addition to the fourth octave A on the lead and the fifth octave C on the harmonies. So let me play that again. The word step. That's definitely, you got some Kelly Clarkson effect there too. That's definitely what I'd like to call I like to call it the Kelly Clarkson effect, because Kelly Clarkson does that also on her higher notes, where she uses the other kind of multi-tracks to sing an octave lower than the lead voice. Madilyn recently adopted that, and I don't know what makes it hotter like that, but it just does. I don't know what it is. It's very hard for me to describe. Um, I guess like you it's kind of like on the Highland pipes, you have, instead of one bass and two tenors for the drones, it would be like if you had one tenor and two basses, and the basses are on either side of the tenor. That would be kind of weird. But I guess it's like the kind of meshing vibratos. Like, they all have different vibratos at different times. And maybe, like, when one voice's vibrato goes down, another voice's vibrato goes up during the cycle. And so it sounds kind of... I don't know how to describe it. It's just... it's kind of... I don't know. But we'll continue with the rest of the song. See how much harder it is to hear... See how much harder it is to hear the lower voice? That's why I'm doing this. I'm kind of dissecting it so you can definitely hear the Kelly Clarkson effect. So we're just going to leave it for here. How about what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the channel that where the lead is cut off, so that you'll be able to hear both the lead and the Kelly Clarkson effect at the same time. This may not be perfect, but it'll be my best effort. So this is my best effort. So hopefully you'll be able to hear both the lead and the Kelly Clarkson effect. No, maybe a little bit lower on the lead. Oops. Now with all the music going, it's hard to hear, but I think she's doing that lower Kelly Clarkson effect. Here comes the higher Kelly effect. A big echo. Those are just higher harmonies, I believe. I'm doing this because it's very hard to hear because it's very hard, if you play it regularly, you would pretty much just hear the lead voice, and you wouldn't be able to catch any Kelly Clarkson effect. But that Kelly Clarkson effect is quite prominent in this song, as you've noticed. And there's just sound effects at the end. So that was Madilyn Bailey. Basically, she's the Denise Lee of pop, okay? The next part of this episode, 20.3, 20.3, is going to be another pop singer who I also like, named Abby Bailey. So stick around for Abby Bailey.